And now it's time for your Fresh Bait Friday weekly fish report, brought to you in part by the Smoking Spatula, where ingredients are made to be broken. This week's recipe on the Smoking Spatula is black tip shark tacos. First thing you gotta do is go get yourself a black tip shark. Then you want to fillet up the shark into nice shark bites. You're gonna marinate that in milk and lemon juice for 24 hours in the refrigerator. Then you want to batter it up. Throw it into the skillet deep fry or pan fry until it's nice and golden. Gonna put that into a tortilla with your choice of like onions, tomatoes, avocado, maybe a little hot sauce. Mix it up any way you like. And now you have your Smoking Spatula recipe of the week. Do remember though that black tip shark is not on the child's menu. This is for adults only, but definitely enjoy it and serve it up right.
Are you going to be in the Southwest Florida area? Are you on vacation or a snowbird looking for a little adventure? If this is you, then you need to hook up with Bank Buddies. Bank Buddies is a one-of-a-kind fishing adventure company based out of Venice, Florida. Custom adventures starting at only $99. So if you're looking for a great way to learn the area, try out some new lures, or just add a little adventure to your life, call now. No, seriously, call now.
Welcome to the Fresh Bait Friday weekly fish report. This last Saturday, about 4:30 a.m., I thought I'd go over to the jetty for a little bit of jigging. Few casts in, bam, baby, it's fish on strong. I'm thinking in the back of my head, what is this going to be? Is it a big red, a big snook? What a great way to start off the weekend. This thing is running my line. It ran it out to the backing 2 different times. Once I finally get this thing to the surface, it's an enormous skate. So I'm thinking, okay, least I can do is get some footage, maybe even get my lure back. So as I reel that bad boy in, I get it right up onto the rock and it's fighting and slashing all around. And I'm leaning down getting some footage, snap, up goes the camera, up goes the pole, down goes dangler on the jetty rocks. And we can say goodbye to my only video camera. So this week we're a little bit short on footage, but we're definitely not short on fish. Saturday and Sunday, I took home 11 pompano. That's not including the ones that got off and the ones that were too small. They were dominating cast percent on lures, sand fleas, and shrimp. They made their way into the jetty, but going into early week, the pompano got taken over by jacks, blue runners, and Spanish mackerel. Seems as the water got a little bit cloudy, the lure stopped working, but the sand fleas and shrimp still kept bringing them in randomly from Casperson all the way up to Venice Beach into late Thursday. Well, you might have noticed on the intro to the show, there's 2 jacks on 1 lure. It was some pretty amazing footage I got at the time and thought it was pretty rare. Well, as it turns out, not rare at all. I'm down at Casperson when the blue runners and jacks took over, and I got 2 jacks on 1 silly willy, throw out another few casts, a pair of blue runners on a silly willy, and last but not least, another pair of jacks on the same silly willy. But the third one, people got to witness that one. That's 2 pair of jacks and a pair of blue runners. I'm not a big card player, but it sounds like a good hand to me. The Spanish mackerel have been relentless lately over at the jetty, mixed in with some nice schools of blue. On Wednesday, I pulled in 5 nice smacks, not including all the ones I caught and released. The pier this last week has been bringing in a lot of bonnethead and black-tip shark, and it seems like the anglers over there have been pretty successful using live shrimp. The black drums actually started showing up from the pier all the way down to Casperson. I ran into 3 different reports of slot-sized black drums being pulled in on live shrimp. Down in Inglewood, it seems the ICW is still producing some nice trout, and over at the Inglewood Pier, fiddler crabs are pulling some nice sheep's head. This last week has been foggy fishing for sure, but hasn't slowed down the flounder a bit. I was walking the dog over at the pier on some live cut bait, using blue runner and ladyfish, and brought in 5 small ones. The day before, though, a couple anglers had better luck than I did, pulling in 13 to 17 inches from the pier all the way down to Casperson. Even this morning, I get a nice wind knot in my braid. I start wrapping around my hand, and as I'm thinking this is probably not a good idea, I pull it off my hand, and I look down. There's a 12-inch flounder flopping around on my gotcha. So I wasn't even fishing and caught one. I threw out a chartreuse jig head on a plastic mirror lure, and pretty much the same thing, except I got a nice one. Right as I reeled it up to my feet, though, I got a little bit anxious, pulled it right out of its mouth. Then for a little bit more excitement, I'm getting massive hits on the first couple of jetty rocks there at Casperson, thinking, why can't I get this big fish in? One after another. Eventually, I pull it in. I snagged a mullet, if you haven't guessed it already. So, nice little pocket there, trapped a bunch of mullet, and I pulled in a nice one. Thought I'd cook it up this evening and see what it tastes like. Well, that wraps up this week's Fresh Bait Friday Fish Report. Thanks for stopping by, and good luck to all you anglers out there. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Lures Corner. This week we're going to start off with the Calcutta Flash Foil Swim Shad. This one is a 4-inch 7/8 ounce pinfish. It's got the little vibrating flash foil tail there. Went over to the jetty for a few casts, and on the second one, bam! Snook started attacking. Then I went down to Caskerson in some pretty rough surf, swam it over there, 2 more snook coming in. Then the jacks and the ladyfish just could not get enough. This one definitely had no shortage of hits, so there's only one rating to give it. 2 reels up. Since this was the week of the Pompano for me, I thought I'd share a little bit more about the silly willer and the jig lure with you. Of course, for the local anglers, this is just a staple in the tackle box. But for those of you new to the area or to the lure, hopefully this will be some helpful tips. You can make this, as I mentioned before, basically from scratch, including painting the anchor weight whatever you like and customizing the fly hooks too. Currently I've been hooked on Captain Joe's jig parts to save myself some time, and then putting them together with the connector rings. The colors have been real hot for me lately, have been the pink and white two-tone and the solid chartreuse. Both of those with glow-in-the-dark fly hooks. When I first started putting these together, I put a few together and realized they were on backwards. And with that said, backwards is not really backwards around here because people use them both ways. When you buy them in the package, they always come with the hook like this in the front, and sometimes they have a bead up here. They use a different line, and they use rings as well. So you can definitely get a few different variations of it, but nonetheless, almost all of them have the hook just like that. So if you're going the route of putting these together, there's a tool you can buy that holds this ring in place to be able to put these together and make it a lot easier for you. But if you're a crafty person like myself and don't want to spend a lot of money, you can use something around the house. Most of you probably have a tool. I use actually a small set of dog nail clippers that we had laying around the house. So I used these and I didn't have to buy the tools, so it saved me a little bit of money. So again, if you're crafty, you probably already have something sitting around the house that could help you out. Well, I hope these tips were not only helpful for you, but also get you slaying the Pompano out there. Thanks for stopping by Lures Corner. I'm Dangler, your host, and have a wonderful weekend.